Okay, so good day everyone. So welcome to our Asian virtual conference. So before anything else, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Clyde Rexler Lechica from Delta Air International Aviation's Academy. So today, I will going to discuss my study entitled Land-Based Inventory Management System for Aviation Higher Education. So first of all, let me explain what is a land-based or local area network. So land-based is actually a network wherein it composed of two or more computers that is connected in the same area or building. And it can be wired or wireless, which can manage documents that are resources such as file, software, inventory data that can greatly improve the system or the reliability of the system through and by using different technologies such as RFID or radio frequency identification, SMS, etc. So in these current generations, we are fans in intensely computerized or advanced technologies aiming to enhance idiomatic lifestyle and business-related activities, which is concerned to perform every task given to all individuals. So in a higher education institution that is specializing in aviation studies, we're left behind in replicating the standard practices of the aviation industry. So to their respective management practices, classrooms, and laboratory institution. So the internationally shared belief that the higher education has a big role to play in delivering graduates with an ability to contribute to the knowledge-based economy. And that is one of the main driving forces behind the employability agenda. But unfortunately, within the increasingly significant employability agenda, very little is known about the geography student expectation on their career. Why? Because of the currently using manual system, which is possess problems such as miscalculations in terms of number of units on tools, inaccuracy reports, and unmonitored condition of tools. So we all know that the aviation industry, particular in aircraft manufacturer, maintenance, repair, overhaul, or MRO, just to name a few, have been at the forefront of utilizing these modern technologies for their business. Okay, so on this challenge, an improved and computerized tracking tool inventory system, which has been introduced in maintenance, repair, overhaul decades ago, that can be explored and adopted by higher education institutions to immerse students, faculty members, and management personnel of the standard inventory management system of the aviation industry. So the researcher will actually design and develop a computer-based systems that will handle inventory control system for tools and equipments in the main laboratories of aviation higher education institution, and that will also implemented by a modern technology. So actually, this study will providing a great impact from the student to intensify to open the new information's management methods to the managed pace of tools. Okay, so let's proceed now to the methods and materials. So on this study, actually the study will use a quantitative of research. The purpose of this method is to describe the phenomenon as to its present situation or condition from the data gathered, wherein the researchers tabulated and analyzed and interpreted the data into a more accurate formulations of the problem to be solved. So the structural questionnaire will be used as a primary tool in gathering data. So we have also used a two-type research designs that is used on this study, the descriptive and the developmental research. So that it allow the proponents to identify any errors or mistake so that it can be improved the proposal study and maybe even change it if in case that it doesn't work out. So the researchers conducted also some interview, personal observation, survey questionnaire to the student and key personnel of higher education institutions that were involved in conducting manual count, reconciliations of data, and processing of borrowing and returning of tools. So the participants of the studies are, of course, the teachers and students from different aviation higher institution, such as the Flight School International, which is composed of 24 participants. Then Leading Edge International Aviation Academy Institution, or LEA, that is composed of 28 participants. And as well as from the World City Colleges, ATC North or WCC, with a total of 28 participants. Overall, the total participants is 76 people. Alright, so let's proceed now to the discussion, which is the results and finding, conclusion, and recommendation. So number one, in terms of the borrowing module, returning module, and monitoring module, so the findings here is most of the participants rated the radio frequency identification as most suitable and ranked as number one. So on my conclusion, it demonstrates that the respondents are familiar from the technology of radio frequency identifications due to current trends like form from the department store, supermarket, and identification card. So on my recommendation, so it recommends that the user of inventory management system must be familiar in using radio frequency identification system. So all the students and instructor must need to be oriented for the process of inventory management system during the first day of the class to become aware about it. So number two, on the system platform. So on my findings, most of the participants from the three groups chose the LAN-based platform system, wherein on my conclusion, it proves that the local area network is capable of accessing and sharing data and devices such as printers, scanners, and data storage devices. So on my recommendation, so to improve more the accessibility of the system, the software should need, or the aviation higher education should need to implement the local area network on their laboratory area. Okay, next, number three, component needed of the system. So on my findings, it shows that the participant from the students rated the criterion audit trail obtained the highest total frequency of 45 verbally interpreted as priority component needed in the proposed system. So on my conclusion, the key to a successful inventory management system is to have a good audit trail, which is easier insofar as it keeps information more accurate, more readily accessible, and more usable. So on my recommendation, it was recommended by the participant to upgrade the audit trail into blockchain system so that the audit trail become decentralized, the inventory management system, especially from those institutes that have several branches in the Philippines, which can give more importance or give more safety from their documents. Like World City Colleges, they have different branches, PhilSca, and so on and so forth. Okay, so on my number 4 statement of the problem, in terms of the evaluation on the proposed system in terms of the software criteria. So on my findings, based on the result, all of the software criteria got the highest mean chosen by the participants and verbally interpreted as very satisfactory. So on my conclusion, the overall conclusions that all variables gains acceptance and the uniqueness of the study reflect this practice in industry. Therefore, this proposed system can be actually used on a higher education institution. Okay, so on my recommendation, so to enhance the quality of the tool room management system, the proposed systems need to implement from higher education institution, wherein the students are aware about the proposed inventory management in maintenance, repair, overhauling. So the higher education may enhance the procedure and documentation at least 1 day theoretical and 1 day practical training in using this software, so that to enhance the quality of the documentation to be transmitted and for them to be aware on the tasks that they need to perform. So the training must also emphasizes the rules and regulations or from the standard operating procedure. Well, number 5, statement of the problem, which is in terms of the suggestions and recommendations. So my finding shows that based on the given choices, the highest score chose by the participant is the item online based system, which is got a highest mean and interpreted as a very satisfactory. So on my conclusion, so the study envisions that the aviation higher education institution need to produce an online base so that it can also produce quality graduates to fill the required human resources of the industry. So on my recommendation, so to improve more the quality of the proposed system, the future researchers need to adopt this kind of technology. Okay, so and that's it, guys. So for my final words, this study is actually compliance to the outcome-based education or OBE requirements of the Commission of Higher Education Institution. So actually, these studies will going to provide a great impact from the student to intensify the new informations to the different methods to manage the pace of tools. Thank you for listening.